final process of project integration management, and this is a final process of your project also, or a phase also. When you are done with your project or when you are done with your phase, you need to close it. You need to properly document the learning. You need to record the good and bad experience and move forward. Perform some administrative activities like releasing resources, human or administrative infrastructure. You do all that and then you move to the next project or next phase. So let's look at input and outputs and identify what all we do in closing project or phase. Project management plan is a first input because we need to follow it even while closing. And by this time, you may be having a project management plan which has been revised several times, because at many processes we were updating project management plan, so it must be having a good version history. Since you are closing the project, you also need to see what all deliverables have been accepted till now. So we get an input called accepted deliverables, and our favorite input, organization process asset. Now we have list of from where these accepted deliverables are coming from. Validate scope. So we have a process in a project scope management in which we expect, or we follow a process where we show our product to the end user or to the customer and get them validated along the project execution. You should not think that product will get accepted only after once you close the project. Once you close the project moves to the product move to a production or transition, but you have been taking acceptance in parallel. So what do? You have a plan, you have a templates, you have a details and accepted deliverable. You need to call a meeting or collect the opinion of experts. They will put some analysis and they will identify how things went during the project. So these are the three techniques. We need an expert judgment, we need meeting, and we need analytical techniques. So these are the three tools and techniques which we use to identify what? Lesson learned. Lesson learned to record project management database or update project management database. You says that, okay, this was our productivity, this was our defect rate, etc., etc. So those all information need to be compiled, analyzed, and the relevant information which can help the future project has to be updated here. You also need to follow administrative closure procedure. For example, you may have some system where you need to record a status against a project that this project has been closed. Now in future, no more resource, no more expenses should be approved against this project code. So those kind of administrative closure activities you may also do here. You may also measure success or failure, because since you are closing the project and this is a final monitoring or analysis you are doing on your project activities, you measure how good the execution was or how good the planning was. Have we met the project objective as explained in a project charter before? So those kind of measurements of a success and failures also get discussed, analyzed while closing the project. After doing all this, we get what? Two outputs. Output 1 talk about transfer of outcomes of project like product, service or result to the next project or to the next phase or to the next process. So for example, if you are delivering a product, then you transfer this product to operations. So they start selling it, supporting it, and they take it further. you are done with your work. You say now this product is sellable. You have done everything which is required to launch that particular product. If you are talking about service, you have established the service. Now this service will go in an operation. For example, if you are doing a service, so if you have established the service capacity, SLAs, all the people are assigned, now the delivery of service can start. So it can go in operation, the transition has happened, and people can start take it further. If you have produced some result, for example, the project was to analyze economical or environmental condition of an organization or a given goal. You are done with that study and you have prepared the study report, and then you publish it or give it to your stakeholders. So that way you transfer or deliver the final outcome. Now this outcome is getting accepted during accepted deliverable, but this is a consolidated final status report which you are saying that against my scope statement, against my charter, this is all has been done, and now I want to close this project. Second output, organization process asset updates. Now, since till now we have been using organization process assets as an input, but here we have a time to update it. We know a project measurement database, we know how defect rate, how productivity, etc. was achieved during our project. We also have a lesson learned which can be used by upcoming projects. So we update all these information, whatever we analyzed here, back to organization process asset. Now, two things I want to mention while talking about closed project or phase. Even if you are terminating the project, means you find that project is no more viable because of sponsor is not supporting it, or an economic or environmental condition has been changed, whatever reason it is, still you need to perform this process. It's not like that a closed project is just abandoned. You need to consolidate what has been achieved by looking at accepted deliverable. You put the status that this is done, this was not done, and these are the reasons, these are lessons we have learned while executing this particular project, and since results cannot be transferred, we are terminating it, but still we update organization process assets. So terminated project also goes to project closure or phase. Second thing you need to remember, you get acceptance of deliverable using using a validate scope process. So you take accepted deliverable as an input. It's not like that only after you close the project the deliverable goes to the end customer or end user. You have been taking acceptance or validation, performing validation in between, but now you say that everything is done and we want to do a closure of this particular project. And this also closes the project integration management knowledge area.